everybody knows how it is to have a job, whether it's the hours or wherever you work. There has to be good communication for the process of the operations to work as stress free as possible. Today, I'm gonna inform you with developing assertive communication skills within a workspace, and then I'm gonna go on to performing those skills with your peers or coworkers in a workspace, and then I'm gonna finish it off with how to react to these skills when someone is talking to you about it. Um, First off, developing assertive skills is in a workspace is probably one of the best ideal communications when you're focusing on communicating with one another or a teammate or a peer, because it's respectful and it's direct. You respect your peer who you're talking with, and you are really open minded. You always want to be open minded to things that they talk to you about. You always want to uh, accept accept the things that they talk to you about. Always listen, and you never know what you can learn from it. The thing about assertive communication is that it is calm and collective. You can always sit back and relax and listen before you give your inputs about things. I think the best listeners or the best workers in a workspace is the ones that listen and they take it in and they learn from it and they don't make the same mistakes. Mistakes is key though, because you don't make mistakes, then you're never gonna learn. Second is performing it. You want to approach your individual or your coworker in a way where it's not too aggressive or too passive. You always want to go in there with confidence, and you want to go in there with what you are trying to believe in right away. You don't want to go in there and just say, "Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about," but I think you want to become confident, and you want to teach them that these are the stuff that will make him or her a better person. Uh, you always want to give good feedback to the person next to you or the person that you're talking to. It makes them understand better, and it makes them grow as an individual. So you always want to give good feedback, and you always want to accept feedback as well. It makes you always open your mind to bigger things, and just more acceptance towards what's coming your way. The third one will be how to react to these skills. If a person comes in and approaches you in a bad way, you're not going to feel welcome in that little circle of you and the person you're talking to. So you always want to react in a way where you want to be respected with too, directly and face to face. So like I said before, you want to be a good listener, and then you want to wait for them to talk, and then they give your the feedback, and then you can reply back to them, so that it tells them that you're actually listening to them and understanding that what they are trying to tell you is something that is important, and to communicate with each other is what makes the company or the operation run smooth. If you don't communicate and one person does this and one person does this, then there's two different paths where it doesn't connect. So you always want to ride the same path with your individual or your coworker. Um, Most of the time they're not right, but you always want to be collective, and you always want to be like you always have to have an alternative of being having your opinions matters, and I think that that's the best way for best thing about assertive communication, because then you always have the right mindset to go in there, and you can take both views of understanding yourself and understanding the coworker or individual's perspective. So that makes it clear for the path to communicate with each other through the operations to run it more smooth. So that if you don't communicate, then everything's just going to go out the door, right? So you always want to talk to each other and understand each other before you move forward to the next step, which is pretty much actions and performing or showing that you were listening and you're going to take their way, but at the same time you can still adjust things to make things work. um, for assertive communication, it's for me it's probably one of the best communications throughout communicating with people. You're, like I said, you're respectful, you're direct, and then most of all, you're really confident in the things that you want to say to them or ask them. I hope that from this information, you can give it today, that it will bring you confidence or learn how to be assertive when it comes to communication in the workspace, so that you guys or you and your individual can benefit from it and go in the right path. You To understand that it does take a lot of skill and a lot of time to practice. So always ask yourself these a lot of questions, if it's the right question or if it's not, and you always want to understand the view of different perspectives. So with this video, I hope that you can learn more about assertive communication in a workspace, and you will take the time to learn how to communicate with each other and learn how to respect one another.